I thought I'd come on and just practice a little bit of YouTube talking because it feels a little different of a vibe. It's more, I'm like really sick of you. I'm talking to Gary right now. And all that stuff in that last video is absolutely true. Everything that happened to me is absolutely true. And Trump has been there the whole time. And I kept telling myself that the reason why it happened the way it happened was because in order to keep it at the level where it's at, in the sense of, what's the word? My availability. No, my abilities. My abilities, that we had to keep each other away from one another or something. Because in the beginning, I would do this a lot. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And then the other thing they claim is protection. And I guess when I think about it, I think of myself as the one who's like, it's like, what's the word? It's like, my mind's blocked because I'm watching a music video. Because if someone knew that I was channeling God and I could do all these things, they would, one, try to kidnap me, two, try to kill me. Because one of the talents is nothing you do can hide. And that's not my fault. It's not that I care even what they're up to. It's like extreme out of integrity. What do you call it? Reflexes. But some people can hide it. Because Andrew Tate is one that is able to hide his indiscrepancies. The way that you do it is you don't abuse me. See, the women can't stand me because they know that I am very attractive to all the men. And so in the beginning, they were extremely jealous. Actually, in the beginning, they tried to seduce me. And then they got extremely jealous. And somehow they learned an abuse tactic of like I'm here, and then someone like Reese Witherspoon or Monavand or anyone with like high followers, especially the bad ones now. Dixie D'Amelio is another one. Somehow when they're over wherever they are, and I'm thinking about them because they've entered my space, they're able to do evil things to me. Like stab me in the back, make me think things, like they will make me want to grab a knife and cut myself. But see, that's the difference, is I have self-awareness, meaning I would never do that to myself. But even the doctor from TikTok says that thoughts like that will cross your brain sometimes. Weird thoughts that you would never think, and then you're like, how could I have thought that? That's not actually from you, if you're a good person. That's telepathic communications. Probably demons. I forgot really what this video was about. My face is starting to look really old and depleted because I'm feeling extremely overworked. Because that's also what it's like when I have to go back to work and then do this at the same time. So you try balancing it all out. when you don't even have compassionate coworkers or ones that are even fun to be around. Because I could do it if the staff was fun and friendly and let me be myself. Versus what I've been experiencing in the last few years while I've been doing this. Nipsey's biggest fan. That was an office I could have worked for a long time, but God said I had to come home. Just to let everybody know who works in that office. I was like, finally, a group of women that are worth hanging out with. I was like, we're going to have so much fun, and we're going to do this. And then they were abusive to me. You bitch. How could you have left us high and dry? I'm sorry I left you. I mean, I was only getting mutilated and murdered. That was the time that I sat on the couch like this, and my whole body vibrated. Not physically, but it was a buzz. Raising the vibration. Like an antenna or something. Or exiting negativity, I'm not sure. I'm like a football player, but my stamina is extreme because some of the things that God had me do was train for a bodybuilding show, so I was physically able. Not only that, we did a yoga teacher training, which is very intense, not especially, because it's a Baptiste training. That's why I was able to sit in the positions that I was able to sit with, even though I was in pain the whole time. Sometimes I watch movies and I'm feeling like I'm reenacting some of the events that actually occurred. Because the way it occurs to me is as if God took me away somewhere into another dimension while the things were actually occurring upon me because I could feel it. So in the old days, I would say to myself, if that ever happened to me, I don't know what I would do. Not a lot, but every now and then. That girl is so brave. To escape something like that? Oh, okay. Responses to what happened to me. Oh, okay. Oh, so I've been through trauma, just to let you know, in the dental field. Oh, okay. No big deal. Oh, really? Because it really was a big deal. Yet you like watched it or something and you didn't care. Because some of you weren't even around. Trump was mostly, if I really, really needed, like there was one night where I was standing on the back or the front porch. And so, because sometimes it would be really fun and then sometimes it was just terrifying. Because I'm logical. So I knew I was at home. I wanted to do good by what God's word were. And I was confused who God's words were coming from. And I also wanted to make the difference on the planet. And so I did the thing that was said to do, even if it was a bad spirit. Because it was like I was trying to decipher between this and that. And the only person that would have suffered in all of it would have been me. So I'm just going to lay here for 12 hours and rotate the earth. God would definitely want me to do that. Because I know that this earth is fucked up right now. It's like, okay, this all makes perfect sense. So I'm going to have to hold still, and that's all I have to do, he said. Yeah. I said, okay, I can do that. And then I did it. But I kept doing it, and I kept doing it, and I kept doing it, and we kept moving energy. And then part of me wondered if it wasn't demons forcing me, because would God really make me do stuff like this? But then I was like, well, yeah, because we have to shift the energy off the planet to get rid of it. And I'm willing to die for their sins so we can have peace on earth. And I didn't want to tell you any of it, but Gary Vaynerchuk made me. And this story version is just a little bit of what happened. Because it happened in California. There's a story in California where I was staying at my grandmother's house. Talks with aliens and stuff. To stuff that happened here at this house. To stuff that happened in Virginia. To stuff that happened to the house on the island that we used to have. And then having no one believe in anything you're saying, but knowing that the feelings were there. The feelings, it felt like something. And then being able to turn it off in the sense of, I'm going to work. And then smiling. Oh yeah, today's great, but my chest is burning and it hurts really bad. But remember, I was a yoga person and a bodybuilder. And my stamina is great, meaning I've done a marathon. Plus, I have a high tolerance for pain. Well, no one assisted me. And I attempted to be nice to everyone, and they were cruel. I worked so hard to try to get these patients in during COVID, after COVID, because I knew everybody was behind on their dental visits. So you know what? I'll do 2 columns with an assistant, not for production numbers, but a bonus as a goal, but more so because I know these people need their cleanings. This is the worst state of medical mouths I've ever seen in my career, I said. And then at night I would go home. I would smoke weed on the weekends. And things were kind of leveled out. I had fun on the beach with God, watching and talking to the earth as it waved to me through the oceans. And then giggling with Joe Rogan and a seagull named Gus. Spending the Sundays or the Saturdays at the botanicals. Feeling that little giddy feeling that I sometimes get, that I so miss. Or chilling, being creative, talking to God. Okay, good. We've got an option here. Just looking at that. Yes, I'm absolutely interested for sure. I think I want to work there. I think it'll be fun. I'm just in the middle of a video for YouTube. I do these all day when I'm not working. I'm talking to a friend. It's almost like, who cares? Just do your job. Don't worry about my personal life. Besides, I never say your name. It's actually beneficial for the office. Anyways, where was I? It's a lot. It's a lot, y'all. It's so much. It's like I should have written it down. I kind of wrote some of it down. The worst part started when I broke it off with the first person who was allegedly assisting me during my problems, but was really actually enjoying bashing me. Yeah, so he would like, I'd be like scared crying my eyes out. I mean, this is some scary stuff, y'all. It would not stop either. You know, you like leave a situation. No, the situation followed me. Right? Like, he would be like chopping me with a knife at my legs and then coming up to my head to be like, focus on me. You're going to be okay. You're going to let them do their, he wouldn't say that part, but that was the implication, right? And that's sadistic. And so when Gary moved in and took over, which is what I was waiting on all along, the moment I realized that he wasn't married, which was like almost 2 years ago, I'd say. Although I had a suspicion that he wasn't married and he just wore his ring because it's just easier. So when he started taking the ring off, I thought, well, shit, he got divorced for me. But he actually took the ring off to show me that he was divorced because he was holding a big bowl. He was holding a big bowl. I think it was a bowl. It looked like one. And he was like 5. I was like, no ring. Oh shit. Awesome. No big deal. And then that, like in the next 10 minutes after that, he's kissing me like this. It felt like this. And I was like, that's never happened before, by the way. I mean, weird stuff was happening, right? But I don't remember having a kiss on my lips like that before. I got up from the couch and I felt almost like a wrench. I felt like it was a wrench bash me over the head. As if someone were to actually do it to you. I had to run into my mom's bedroom and have her hold my hand. What's wrong? You look normal. The next morning, I wake up and I'm smoking weed because I'm in California. I smoke again. And it's when things started really moving into like a more plane of movement for physicalness of it from live people, where I knew where it was coming from, kind of thing. And then that morning, it happened again. And Gary says, why can't I just have a normal wife? And there's some other things that happened, but the energy around was really bad. Lots of stuff happened there. We talked about Black lives and slavery and stuff. And then we created an NFT where Beyonce sells freedom. It's not like you sell freedom, but it's the idea that you're free. Because if you purchase something that you make money off of, you become free. Is that what you need? Ask Beyonce. It's a piece of art though. So it's like empowering. And then you just start working and stuff and like, it's like we move on. It's like we don't really have time to waste on this stuff, you know? Alien life forms and stuff, those are real. There were phases of joy, which is why I made it worth it. When God would show up, or my pink bubbles would come back. I should probably stop this video because we're already at 20 minutes And I don't actually want to take up too much time of unloading. Besides, this is a lot for you to take in. There's a lot more that happened, and I'll probably go into depth through questions in the future of more of what happened. But I didn't know really what was going on. I just had faith in God and trusted in the process and prayed and begged as Gary led me on. And I had a deep knowing, although Gary did lead me on to keep producing. It's pathetic. It's going to go viral. That's what you have to keep telling yourselves too. It used to be very, very fearful for me to think of myself going on that viral path again, because I've already done it before. 1,000,000 views or some crap. But that was when I was psychic, y'all. And I didn't know it. It was like my first inkling of the ability to be psychic or something, I think. Yeah, because it was before I hit my head. Anywho, that's all I have for now.